dive into a world of untold narratives with the podcast that explores the unseen quadrant of the Johari window of our lives. Here, we uncover the hidden stories and unspoken truths of extraordinary individuals, revealing what others don't know about us, but what we know about ourselves. This is the Bottom Left Pane. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bottom Left Pane. Here in this episode, we're joined by Razie, a dynamic life coach whose story takes us from Iran to the global stage. Razie's journey is a powerful narrative of transformation, from starting a prominent academy for women in Iran to adapting her coaching style amidst the challenges of COVID-19 and moving to the United States. Discover how she shifted her focus from business coaching to empowering women through self-confidence and assertiveness, overcoming cultural barriers, and inspiring change. Hey guys, and today we have Razie with us, the lady boss herself. Honestly, I've been really excited to do this interview since we've met. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. Please, Razie, if you could tell us about yourself, a little bit about what you do.
Hi, Luis. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me here. So my name is Razie, but Luis just told me as a lady boss. My lady boss is my brand. So I will tell you the story maybe later. But I'm Razie. I am the coach for women, life coach and business coach, but former business coach, right now life coach. I have a special story. I was not living in US. I came from Iran. I'm Persian actually. So I just came to US like 7 months ago, but I used to live there, and I started a big academy for just women in Iran, and I started to teach them business and then self-confidence and then assertiveness and then all the aspect of growth, mind growing actually. So yeah, I just started the academy. So we are the biggest academy in whole Middle East, I think. And yes, there it is.
Awesome. Dang, that's super crazy. So let's kind of just jump into a little bit about the story, right? So your journey from like in-person coaching to like online courses, right? I'm assuming that's what you do now that you're not in Iran anymore, right? Can you share like some key lessons you learned during the transition, especially like, when all of this happened, how did it really shape your coaching style now that it's virtual?
Yes, actually, when I was started like 6 years ago as a business coach, I went to get some degrees about that. I went to some classes, courses to know how to be a business coach. And then I started to be in person business coach. So, before COVID, everything was in person. I mean, most of the things was in person, especially the coaching things. So I started the business coach. I was like an ordinary business coach. I was not famous. I was not special. I was a kind of a normal people. But when I just started my business coach, I after 2 or 3 years of doing that, I had some um, good point in my life. Some of my clients went outreach and went go well, and so it was good at the time. But when the COVID hit, so that business was just like maybe stopped because like me, like everybody, we didn't know how much time would be last the COVID. Okay. So I just stopped my business in person coach. So after 1 or 2 months, I realized that maybe the COVID will be last longer.
Right.
So I decided to do it because I need money. So my whole things was gone. My whole money that I just kept in my bank account. So I started online coaching. At first, it was so hard because I was not in person with people. I couldn't reach out them and I couldn't see how the situation is. I couldn't feel the situation is. And in
Right.
virtual coaching was really hard. So, you know, make it short. So I started the virtual one maybe 2 or 3 months later when the COVID hit. So when I started that, I was normal like other people, maybe 20 clients or 15 clients in month. It was not bad, my income, my revenue was not bad. But I started thinking about something very important
Mm.
because all my clients were women at a time. My brand was Lady Boss. Because I was a business coach, I wanted to women to be a boss of their own business. So my brand was Lady Boss. All of my clients were women, right, like right now. And then I started thinking something very special. When I just started in virtual classes, I started to make some courses in a virtual way because at a time, some businesses didn't have a lot of money to
Mm.
give the coach, so they wanted to just train by themselves. So I started to make some courses, business courses for them. For example, how to sell things online, or for
Right.
example, how to gain trust. For example, like some courses like that. So when I started that, I understood that in online courses, I did tell everything, every information I had in my mind in the courses, but maybe 80% of my students didn't get the results. I mean,
Mm.
they didn't get what they really wanted. I mean, their revenue, their income didn't grow. So I was wondering why, because this is like
Right.
my coaching in person. So I just made a course and I just gave it to them, and they're just watching what I'm saying, they're doing what I'm saying. So what is happening here? And when I just compare my students to another coach students, I was wondering because those coaches like me, they have students too, but
Right.
50% of their students are getting results at a time. So I had a doubt for myself, maybe for one or two, maybe I am not a good coach. I am not a good educator because
Right.
my students are not like getting results. But when I got dive into it and deep into it, I understood that because 100% of my students are women,
Hmm.
but other coaches, 50% of them are men. So the
Mm.
men are getting results, not the women.
Yeah,
So
interesting.
yeah, I was wondering, so what happened to women? Because women are strong. Women can do, for example, everything they want. So of course we have some limitation, barriers, maybe in some countries more than men. But what is happening? And then when I just get deep into it and made some questionnaires, read a lot of books about self-development, I understood that in whole society, in whole educational system in our country, and whole training by our parents, women did not trained well how to be self-confident practically.
Uh, hmm.
Okay. So yeah, they know what is self-confidence and they speak about it. Yeah, okay.
Right.
But the thing is, they didn't know how to do it, how to react like a confident woman, how to do things. So they're procrastinating everything. They're perfectionism. They're like, they don't do anything until everything is ready. So these are because lack of self-confidence, because you're not sure that you can do everything. That's why you're waiting to be everything to be perfect, right? So when I start to teach them how to gain more self-confidence in a practical way, you know, how to do it, how to practice self-confidence, I got so famous at a time. My Instagram page hit the record, and my classes were full of students and women were getting results because beside that I just get the information how to sell things online. I
Right.
just teach them how to be self more confident, and then they start to selling online thing. Before I just say to them how to sell it, they did it. So it means that self-confidence makes everything good, and you will find a solution for every problems you have in your life if you have the confidence. You just don't need a lot of information about business. If you
Mm.
have the confidence, you will do everything. So when I did that, so I got famous after it's been 3 years now, no, two and a half years that I just started the confidence. So I am known as a confident lady in a whole Iran. Everybody knows me at this, name, confident. So I
Uh-huh.
wrote a book, and my book hit the record in whole Middle East. And yeah, this is what happened until now.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Wow. Okay. So I kind of want to jump into the now part, right? So like, you left your country, and honestly, that must have been a pretty significant decision, right? So how is the experience of now living in this new culture within the United States? Like, how has that influenced your coaching and how you approach, and just the perspectives that you bring to your course now?
Yeah, I just moved maybe 7 months ago to US, as I told you before.
Right.
But I am too busy with my whole students in Iran because we are the biggest academy.
Mhm.
So I didn't have a time to focus on US market and see how women are thinking right now or doing right now. But in past 7 months, I talked to a lot of university teachers and masters about women. I went
Mhm.
there to Berkeley University, UCI, and I talked to them to how are women doing right now. So I have a
Okay.
lot of information about the women in US. I know that the one who born and raised in US are different from the women who born and raised in Iran or Middle East. I know the
Right.
differences, but I know that deep down of all us, we have some holes, everybody. No
Mm.
matter women or men, no matter where what is your country, you have some holes in you. For example, if you keep procrastinating everything, if you are just thinking about everything to be perfect, if you
Okay.
do not start your things, if you have fears, it means that you are struggling some kind of lack of self-confidence in you. So no matter what your country is or what your place is, I know this kind of things will help them better.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, it's always there, right? So, recognizing these challenges faced by women in Iran, you shifted your focus to self confidence and assertiveness. So what specific strategies did you use in your courses to address these challenges, right? And how did you really empower women to overcome these societal expectations?
The first thing in our society, in our things, in our traditional living space, was the words and the rhyme that women were using.
Hmm. Can you
You
explain a little
know,
bit about that? Yeah.
yeah. For example, let me explain you in words. For example, when some women borrow their clothes to another woman, for example, and the other women just get this bag broken. Okay, so this women are upset about her clothes, right?
Right.
I mean, she said, "Oh my God, I just borrowed this," and she returned this broken, but she didn't say a thing, right? She said, "Okay, thank you so much," and she was nagging in her mind.
Right.
Okay, so this is the kind of behavior. So in this kind of behavior, I changed this behavior. That's why it was a good, inspiring examples for women. I just teach them to be reversed. For example, I
Right.
made
Right.
this scenario and I just said this is wrong. Answer this in other way.
Okay. Yeah. So
Okay.
can you give me like a couple examples?
For example, um, when I said, for example, I made a scenario, I made a movie. Okay, thank you. For example, Sarah, thank you for returning my dress. No, no, this is wrong. So I made the correct scenario. Okay.
Mm.
So I made it. Oh, Sarah, thank you for bringing it back, in with a smile, with confidence. Thank you for bringing it back. But I think this is broken. How can you repay this for me?
Mm.
Okay, with a smile and with a very confident situation, not angry, not aggressive, not passive. You have to be very, very mellow
Right.
and with a smile. Just take your right. I mean, so when I just started to teaching them how to be assertive, not aggressive or not passive. Women started understanding that there is a third way of behaving,
Okay.
you know, because before that they were thinking that maybe we have two kind of behavior,
Right.
just passive or aggressive. If you
Okay.
are not saying things, you have to be angry. No, you can be assertive. You can use your words in a very, very respectful way, because respect in Middle East is a very high value. You
Okay.
know, they're not straight and direct saying things. They do things in their own. So when I started to change this behavior and teach them the words, the sentences to use it when you wanted to be assertive, women understood it very well. And they understood that there is a third way that they can use with respect and get their rights.
Okay. Yeah. So let's kind of talk about that a little bit, right? So about how long do you think it took for all of that to really kind of get set into motion, right? Like it seems like such a small change to just, change your words even, right? To be a little more assertive.
You know, in culture, of course, it takes time,
Right. Right.
because the past generation, the previous generation are still here. And if you just behave like that, maybe they get it as a disrespectful behavior. So of course, when it's cultural things need change, maybe after 10 years or 15 years.
Of course.
I
Yeah.
know that, of course that. But if you change just 1% or 2%, your things, your result will be changed in a different way. If you just in 2 or 3 ways, if you speak yourself, if you speak out that what's your need, what's your values,
Mm.
and do it in a respectful way. If the woman in this generation, not in previous, okay, in this generation, just to speak like that, maybe 2% changing, the result will be 50% change. You know,
Mm.
you heard that, right? When you just change it 2% degrees, the result will be more different.
Yeah, that's pretty intense just from coming from, a changing of just saying something, right? Of just being able to
Yeah,
say, hey, yeah, like actually you broke this, or actually this isn't okay, or actually, hey, I need this, right?
yeah.
Um, yeah, that's really incredible. So I also kind of want to talk a little bit about like, your story and the challenges there, right? So, your journey involves overcoming challenges and really inspiring change on this massive scale. So, can you share a moment where you felt like you personally felt the profound impact of your work, right? So, like realizing the positive change you were bringing to lives of women.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When I started to make shorts, movie in Instagram like this,
Hmm.
the comments that I get from people, the women, were become different.
Right.
Before that, people were like, "Oh, you're good, you're so good, thank you," everything like that. But the comments after that was like deep. I mean,
Mm.
they DM me at the time, and they were like with all of their emotion, they were just writing for me in 10 sentences, speaking out for me. You changed our life. I mean, I talked to my, for example, friend like this, and everything was changed. I talked to my, for example, parents in a respectful way and say my values, and everything was changed. Thank you. And those kind of DM or result of my students, I understood that oh my God, this is going to change everything. This is a good thing. Everybody is like changing, and this is a good situation because change is a kind of a good thing. As a coach, I really wanted to see changes in my students. So that was good. That was a good start. So when I started to teach them in courses, very big courses, and wrote a book about it, and everybody was talking about me. So I saw the change, and I'm still seeing it, because after that, a lot of pages on Instagram, Farsi ones, are started to teach them like me. So I understood that. So I inspired a lot of coaches too, that they are just wanted to teach their clients or teach people. Everybody wants to teach people because this is a good way of living, to say your rights, to say your things in a respectful way. Something was missed in our culture, and everybody was suffering at the time. And yeah, that was a good start.
Yeah, so I mean, you've seen all of these massive transformations, right? Some of them I don't even know how firsthand, but I'm curious. Yeah, does anybody in particular come up to you like when you think about like uh, a specific inspiring like success story, right? Like, was there anyone big that you're kind of like, like, wow, I can't believe I influenced them to, come up with this $1 million business, or somewhere
Okay,
to that level, right?
yeah. I when I was at the airport, I had a flight like 2 years ago. I had a flight to Istanbul.
Hmm.
When I was in a line to doing my passport and kind of things in the airport, a woman and a husband in front of me just get back and saw me, and they were like screaming that they saw me. And the woman just told me that I was your students 5 months ago. You gave me that courage to speak out my idea to my
Hmm.
university, and then my idea just revealed into my master's university. So one of my masters invited me to a dinner to work on the project, and the project were like and the master in my university emailed one of the masters in Toronto University, the Canada, this kind of idea. And that master in the university just invited me to the university to work on the project. So after 5 months, I am going to Canada right now
Dang.
because my idea was revealed and was respected, and everybody wanted to work on it, and I'm successful right now after 5 months. So it was so emotional for me at the time.
Yeah, see, that just goes to show just how important it is, to really to just voice your own voice, right? And really just share what it is that's there. So I kind of want to jump back a little bit to just the community, right, of your students. So how do you encourage collaboration and support amongst like your students and really creating a network of empowered individuals beyond just the course content?
Actually, by social medias, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, when I, for example, make some videos or make some education videos like in my Instagram, I make a community for them to encourage them to make this like me and post it everywhere so
Okay.
everybody could like share this content, because the thing is the media is powerful, right? So the most powerful media in Iran is Instagram. So when the kind of content we share into media, like social media, everybody see the change. So this is what I'm doing in front, beside the making courses and everybody just attending to my seminar, webinars, or kind of things. I
Okay.
do content, viral content on Instagram to impact others.
Okay. So yeah, on that too, like at one moment you kind of have I don't know what your following was before, but then all of a sudden you end up with now I believe it's like 2.3 million followers, right, on Instagram. So with that rapid rise of that, how do you make sure that your messages still stay like authentic and it really resonates with your followers, right? And what strategies do you use to really engage with all of your followers?
Actually, it is hard because it is hard to keep my values authentic, as you said. It is hard though, but the most important thing is keep posting and keep be there for your followers. I mean, at that point, everybody will see you eventually. We see your values, your messages, your everything. So the strategy that I'm using is everybody I come with a new idea on
Hmm.
Instagram. Okay. I don't talk one thing in 2 days.
Right.
Every day I come with a new idea of how to approach people, not the new idea of education or information,
Hmm.
because everybody knows that a lot of information is not good.
Right.
Okay. But a lot of way to approach people to say your value is a good way. I mean, is the best way. For example, your value is keep keep going. For example, this is your value. This is your message.
Mhm.
So the thing is, you have to find 1,000 ways to say it,
Okay.
okay, to approach people to
Right.
do just this message. So this is what was my what my strategy is all day, to go in approach way, to approach people in different ways to say my content.
Right. Okay. So then, actually, I kind of want to jump back a little bit. You said it's a little challenging, right, to keep things authentic. So, in what ways is it challenging for you?
Because when you say things in social media, people will not just stand there 1 hour you to speak with them, right? They come to social media to see videos, to watch videos in 1 minute, just maybe 30
Mm.
seconds.
Right.
So in 30 seconds, you cannot say everything. You
Right.
can just say your message, okay? So your message will have thousand perspective in thousands ways, right?
Right.
For example, when you say keep going in doing things, a lot of perspective will come up. One
Mhm.
perspective is, yes, we have to keep going. The other perspective is, wow, why? If we don't something wrong, why we do keep going,
Right.
right?
Right.
This is a lot of thousands. So you people are different. So 1,000 of perspective will get your message. So it is hard to keep you authentic, right?
Right.
But if you say your message in 1,000 way, people will get it eventually.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That just goes to show you, right, the power of persistence and making sure, like,
Yeah,
yeah, how you communicate is just kind of key, right, in making sure that you're getting what you want, and really, again, sharing those values and allowing people the chance to comprehend and understand who you are, right?
yeah, right.
um, so one thing I did want to talk about, because you briefly mentioned it, so I want to kind of talk about your book, right? So you talk about this book that was breaking your country records, right? So what inspired you to really come up with the book as opposed to another course, and really how did you hope it would contribute to the broader conversation of women's empowerment in Iran?
You know, this is the funny thing happened. Actually, I was amazing at first. When I just made a course to for women how to be assertive. The course was 14 session, and every session was 1 hour. I was speaking with them. There were like they had a practice to do. You know, we could do all those things. So these things, because it was in webinar, it was a little pricey. Maybe 100% of women in Iran, maybe unprivileged people, they couldn't just afford it. So I started thinking maybe I could make a book
Mm,
over this course, because the
right.
book, you know that the cost is way cheaper than a course, right?
Right. It's accessible. Yeah.
Yeah, accessible, and you can do it online and everybody can do it. So I made the course as a book, right? So I changed it to the book. So that's why when I started to tell people that this is the course, that was a course of mine, that maybe because we have some limitation of the attendance, or maybe the timing, or maybe the prices, you can have the book. So when I just tell my followers, I mean on social media, that I wrote this book, just everybody jumped into it and just bought it, and yeah, this is what happened.
Okay. So then what came first? Like, I'm assuming the social media came first, like all your Instagram followers, or did the book
Yeah.
come first? Okay. Nice. And really, how has the success of your book influenced the way that you approach coaching, right? And just like your interaction with the students? Do you feel like now, like, was the success of your book really did it have any impact on that at all?
Of course, the book was good. The book was so much credit for me. But the thing that I have to say, it is a sad part of a story. But in Middle East, absolutely, especially in Iran, the average of people who read books is too low.
Uh,
Everybody just bought it, but maybe 20% of them maybe just finished it,
right.
right? That's why I have to tell you that social media is more powerful than book in Iran right now. If I
Mhm.
just say that words in my posts and stories and all of that things in Instagram, will impact more for people,
Hmm.
change more, you know?
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about how it's more impactful?
Because,
Um,
everybody in Iran are using social media and Instagram. So
right.
when I just post a video, a content, and I just teach them how to be assertive, maybe 4 million people just watch this video until the end, right? But not 4 million people buy a book and finished it.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's why I'm saying if you want to do really change people, focus on social media and use it in a good way.
Right. Yeah. No, that just goes to show how powerful, like, really it is to influence, and how, not how easy it is, but it is an easier way
Yeah,
to get your
easier
message
way
across.
than just writing a book. Writing a book was a good credit. I mean, but for changing people, social media is more powerful.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I can definitely see that. So now I kind of want to talk a little bit about, like, some of your personal reflections, right? So how has your journey and experiences as a woman from Iran yourself, right? How has that really shaped your coaching philosophy?
Actually, nothing has changed, but something just grow actually. From the moment that I just started to be a coach, I was really accessible. I was really kind to people. I was really um, I had I helped them willingly, with too much effort.
Hmm.
But when I just started to teach them, and when I just got famous, I understood that I need to say words, I need to teach them in a short way and let them think, let them do.
Okay.
You know, before that, I was just, do did a lot of information, gave them a lot of information because I thought that this is the good idea. But I understood that a lot of information, if I just give it to them, they cannot process it, they cannot do it, and they make them procrastinate everything, make them perfectionist, make them not to do anything, and just their mind will blow. Okay?
Right.
Maybe at first they're happy that they have a lot of information, but at the end they will not help them.
Right.
So I changed this perspective and I just tell them less, but let them think, let them process, let them do it. And then again, a short education, a short training session, and then let them do that. That's why they are, they're having more results than before.
Hmm. Right. But I guess I'm curious more about, like, you're this pretty big, inspiring figure now, right? So were you always like this? Did you always have this mentality of, like, wanting to empower, or do you feel like that only didn't come along until, you became a coach finally?
You know, I do know if I say I wanted to empower everyone, or I always wanted to be an influencer. If I say that, nobody can understand that this is right or wrong because I know deep down everybody in the world, every child that was born have a big, big idea, right?
Right.
All of them wanted to do something big. So I was one of them.
Hmm.
Right? In every teenager, if you ask them, they want to change something, right?
Right.
So I was one of them. I really wanted to change something. But I went through it, and in the process of doing that, I gained I get a chance
Yeah.
actually to be to change something. And I'm really happy that I got a chance and I saw the chance because this is important to saw the chance, right? So I saw it and I used it.
Hmm. Yeah. So I'm also curious too. So what have you learned about yourself through all of this?
The thing that I really understood in past maybe 3 years of doing it in a huge um, way, I have to tell you that it's all about really it's all about confidence. Maybe you say that because you're a coach, because you're doing you have a course about confident, or you have a students about confident, but I really have to say that if you have a confident mindset, make your mindset in a confident way, you will reach everything.
Hmm.
You will reach everything. It doesn't matter what your place is right now, or what your information you have right now, but your mindset is really change everything.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that, right? But I'm curious to see also though, like, so what did you learn about yourself though along the process, right? Like, in what ways do you feel like you changed maybe from before when you were a business coach to now? Do you feel like, has anything changed? Do you feel like, you're still the same person on the same mission, just driven and ready to go?
I'm still the same person, because I'm pretty sure, because yesterday, due to some project, I had to get back and see my books from 4 years ago and see my videos from 3 or 4 years ago, because I had to research something and did something. But I was curious, and I just realized that I am the same person. Maybe I'm more stronger right now, because I had a lot of things going on in my past
Right.
3 years. Because of course, yeah, you see that you have a lot of students, but it's a big academy, so we have a lot of problems and issues too. So maybe I'm more stronger, but the will and the ambition, the passion is still the same, I think.
Yeah, I love that. So, in what ways, what are your aspirations for the future, like, both personally, professionally, as you continue this journey here in the United States?
The journey here, I really wanted to speak out my experiences, because I know that I'm sure that my story will influence and impact maybe millions of women in US, around the world, who knows English.
Mhm.
Everyone who knows English, because I want to start in English,
Mhm.
because as I may um, told me before, I don't know, my whole courses, my whole education was in Farsi,
Right.
but I wanted to change it in American way, American culture, English language. So I know that my whole story will change everything, because I started from really zero, and I started in a very traditional country,
Right.
and I just moved that from there. So I saw millions of students of mine. So I have a lot of experience from women. Not
Right.
I'm just not telling you that women there are, for example, blah blah blah. No, from women are the same in every places, are the same. They think like themselves. I mean, they're thinking the same. And yeah, I'm just started doing this.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, first off, like, you know, I I would agree that, like, yeah, you're totally inspirational, especially the stuff that you're doing for everybody and, well, for women, right? Not only just in Iran, but what seemed to be like the world, right? Even just in the States. So before we go, I kind of want to ask, what is one major piece of advice that you can give to anybody, right? Of course, yeah, women, but also to men that might need it. Like, I know you've talked about being confident, right? And how that's a big, how it's very necessary, right? But yeah, what would that piece of advice be for somebody that is just trying to start off from scratch and really trying to get going on whatever their passion is?
I have two advices.
Okay.
One says, I don't know how old are you right now, but whatever age you are in, you have times before. For example, if you are 30 right now, maybe when you were at 21st of your life, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you were teenagers. There were times that you were so powerful. Okay, maybe just one day, but there was a
Hmm.
day that you were so powerful. Maybe you just end up a relationship in a powerful way. Maybe you just get into a good company in a powerful interview. Maybe you just told your idea to every person in your room and one investor just wanted to invest in your ideas. One day you were powerful, okay? Please make up that one day, make it up again, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Make a movie, or go to your mirror and just pretend that was your day, and just be yourself at that day, okay?
Yeah.
You will sense that power very, very well, because it was you. It was not no one. It was not an imaginary story. It was you.
Right.
So you will feel the power immediately, and then do your whatever you want. For example, you want to do your job, okay, but you feel lack of confidence right now. Go to your mirror and just make that up. Make that situation in one day that you are powerful. Everything will change different, immediately.
Mm.
And the second advice, if you haven't had at that powerful times in your life, I doubt about it, but if you haven't had that kind of times in your life, just before you do something and you feel like you have lack of self-confidence, do something that you are doing it greatly.
Okay.
For example, you can cook very well. You're confident to cook food, right? Before you do something important, please cook.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, I love that.
You feel the confidence. And then right away, because confidence is a feeling and it disappears after two hours. Okay? So please, after something, you do it in a confident way, do it immediately. And this is changing everything.
Yeah, no, especially I love that, just how you really need to put on those shoes, right? And step into that emotion and step into that power, right? Whatever that confidence is that you get it from, whether it's,
Yeah.
speaking, whether it's whatever it is. Yeah, honestly, that is an amazing message. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So yeah, so right before the show ends, I always ask one random question just to kind of, get people on their toes and also just kind of cleanse the palate. So the question I have for you today is, would you rather be fluent in every language out there, or would you rather be able to communicate with animals?
Communicate in every language.
Yeah. Okay. Why is that?
Because I really want to talk to people. I really want to inspire them. So in every language, I really wanted to write a book and speak.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that, dude. Well, I mean, honestly, thank you so much, Razie. Last thing before you go, yeah, where could people find you if they're looking for more information about you?
Um, they can email me. I should share email right now.
Okay, yeah, I can go ahead and
Yeah.
put that in the show
Uh,
notes. Okay, so you can go ahead and email her at razia8254@gmail.com. Well, yeah, Razia, thank you so much. Honestly, it's
you're
been a
welcome.
pleasure, and I appreciate the conversation.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to The Bottom Left Pane. If you enjoyed our journey into the unseen stories today, don't forget to follow us on social media at Bottom Left Pane on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. You can subscribe to our show on any platform where you get your podcasts to ensure you never miss an episode. And if you're interested in supporting the production of our show, consider checking out our Patreon. Even a contribution as little as $1 a month can make a huge difference. Thank you for your support and for joining us in uncovering the hidden chapters of life. And remember, sometimes the most profound stories are the ones we've never heard before.